Welcome to another episode of Professional Couch Coaches with Doc and Mike. I am Doc, here with my brother.
Mike, what's good?
That is Mike. Yep, here with my brother Mike. We got another episode coming to you. Trying to stay consistent, make sure we're putting out some good content for all of you. Hoping you are tuning in. We appreciate all the feedback we've been getting thus far, and we're hoping to continue to grow the channel. And we appreciate all the feedback and love.
Sure to hit that like on the front end of it. Please follow and subscribe on the front end of the show.
Yeah, on the front end, on the front end. Listen to what Mike said in the deepest voice y'all have ever heard. Hit the like,
Hit that like button.
hit the like button. So we are still in it. Well, it's about to be April, but we're still in the thick of March Madness and the NCAA tournament. And I know, just like I was watching games earlier, I'm sure you was watching games earlier. I just want to see. We're gonna recap how we know because we're almost at the point. The girls' Final Four is set, so um, is their Final Four? Their Final Four is not set. I'm sorry,
Not till
because
tomorrow.
yeah, because LSU and Iowa play tomorrow. USC and who is USC playing? God, I can't.
Is it
Who is
UConn?
USC? Yeah,
UConn.
USC is playing. USC is playing UConn tomorrow. So far, this is how we're looking um, with our predictions. I'm sure you can see Cameron Brick there because Stanford is out. Uh, Stanford lost. They will not be making it to the Final Four. So I know, I know. Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought that NC State women's would make it to the Final Four? Now they're gonna have to play South Carolina, and that's neither here nor there. We,
Mhm.
I thought that would happen. It's gonna take a miracle. Um, it's Easter Sunday, so it would take a resurrection for South for what I think for North Carolina State to beat South Carolina. Um, it would take a miracle to occur. But NC State, very proud of the NC State women. Nobody but me thought that they would be here. So
Literally.
I'm sorry, you
Literally
were saying?
nobody but you.
Yeah, because I was talking to a couple people and I was like, a couple weeks ago, like I don't know. I told you when I picked that they would make it to the Final Four, I had no real reason, no X's and O's, no sound reason why I actually thought um, North Carolina State would actually make it to the Final Four, but here we are. So you know what's happening, right?
What's happening?
You are now witnessing a Doc is always right moment. In case you didn't know, I'm always right. So I'm hardly ever wrong. When I am wrong, it's bad. But
Real bad.
so so uh, in keeping with my confidence, I feel like USC will win tomorrow, and so will LSU. Um, and then that'll make my bracket just perfect for the women if that
Hmm.
happens. You still have a little hope in Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Four um, to pull out a victory versus LSU.
The $5 million Caitlin Clark.
Don't come on, man.
Oh my bad.
Whatever.
All right.
Whatever. So you think? How do you think it's really gonna go? Do you think it's gonna be a good game with Iowa and LSU? Uh,
I, so okay. So realistically, you know who I think gonna win the championship, and it ain't even nobody that's on my Final Four board.
Who?
LSU.
Really?
Yeah. I just got a
Why?
feeling. I don't know why. I just got a feeling.
Hmm.
Just got a feeling. I got a feeling they want to see South Carolina again, like they did in the conference championship.
So you think they think they could beat them, and then
Yeah, that game was close before.
Yeah.
It wasn't a runaway till
No,
close
no.
to the fourth quarter. It was like towards the end of the fourth.
Yeah.
Before people start jumping over the stands and stuff.
Yeah. So you think so you think LSU gonna win tomorrow?
Yeah.
So you're at this very moment vacating that Iowa will win. You sure you want to do that, Mike? Because you had already picked Stanford, and that didn't happen.
I know, but I just got a feeling about LSU for some reason. I don't know why.
Now, see, this is the feeling that I had that LSU will actually, of course, make it to the Final Four. I want Juju to win so bad that I'm hoping USC could beat them.
Juju has 3 more years to try to win.
Yeah. Okay. So
she will be okay.
So this is what I was gonna say. This is what I was gonna say. If USC somehow loses tomorrow, LSU will definitely make it to the championship to play South Carolina, unless North Carolina State pulls out a miracle, and you never know. It's a lot of praying people in Raleigh right now, so it might work.
They got their men's and women in the Final Four.
They are. We're gonna talk about the men's in a second. We got to give the women that grace, of course. It's especially since I was right about NC State women. Thank you. That's all I wanted was you to say I was right. That's all I wanted. That was it. That's all I wanted.
You got
That's what I want. That's what I wanted. So with the men's, there's a glaring issue here. We're both Carolina fans, and Carolina did something. I want to say it was uncharacteristic, but it wasn't. It was right on brand with how they've been playing the last couple of years. When they have teams that should do better than what they do. I had hope in Carolina. So much so I put that on my bracket at work. So I've lost $5 from this. That's neither here nor there. So we both picked Carolina. Carolina, of course, lost to Alabama, who would now be playing UConn. You and I split between Duke and NC State coming out of their bracket, where I thought Duke would actually come out of their bracket. I knew Houston wasn't, so I wasn't even worried about Houston. But I never thought about NC State. Today, I really sat down. I watched the game today, and I started probably watching like halftime. I think Duke was actually up at halftime. They weren't up by much, maybe 4 or 5 points. But
no, NC State was up
at halftime. Okay, I thought Duke was up.
No, NC State led pretty much the whole game.
Well, something took a turn because NC State just put their foot on Duke's neck.
Yeah, Duke kept going on runs, but NC State never let them get close, back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a really good game though.
It was okay.
Yeah, you didn't think it was a good game?
No, it was good. I was at work, so I had to watch it when I could.
Okay, you couldn't enjoy the game.
Yeah, I couldn't. I wasn't, chilling.
It was a good game up until probably the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left. And then Duke just started trying to come back, shooting threes that were bricks. And it was like desperation. Like you could tell
Yeah.
they were getting flustered and frustrated with how things were playing out.
Right.
And their decision making started to change. Um, you could tell that the coach is younger and probably hadn't been in this position a lot. And the players as well, because they really got flustered. Like everything, like that you've seen teams implode. They kind of imploded a little bit. Like they didn't have to be as desperate as they were to score the points as quickly as I think they felt they needed to.
Right.
And they weren't playing, they didn't play sound. They didn't play sound at all.
I mean, it from what I could see, I thought it was a good game. Just their defensive strategy. It started off good. They wasn't gonna double Burns because he's a good passer out of the double team as well. But I mean, he lit you up for 28 though. So
Yeah.
so it's a gift and a curse. So,
Yeah.
they that was their strategy, and it worked for till it couldn't work. But they wasn't hitting their shots like they normally do. Filipowski only had 11 points. I mean, that's uncharacteristic. So,
Yeah. He fouled out.
yeah.
He was the most frustrated. Like uh
Hmm.
the big boy from NC State was just working him, and
Yeah.
it kind of got under his skin at a certain point. You could tell he was like doing like kind of stupid stuff.
Yeah.
So
Just shooting random threes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, you had Gonzaga winning out in their
I
bracket.
did.
That didn't happen.
I did.
I still got Purdue. Um,
That
so
was a good
Purdue,
choice.
yeah. I told you I put Purdue in my championship bracket to play Carolina, but now I think Purdue is going to play UConn
Mm.
unless Alabama's just on a miracle run. Like you don't
Alabama
think?
probably they not gonna beat UConn. NC
Yeah,
State, they might have a chance against Purdue,
you think? So? Oh, because they got the big boy that match the big boy.
but
Uh,
their Edie is 7'4". Like it's hard to guard 7'4".
yeah,
Yeah, he just had to have off night. Didn't he have 40 today?
yeah, it is.
Yeah, 40.
It's funny because we were watching the game and Jazz was like talking about a guard. I can't remember his name for NC State, and Jazz was like,
Horn.
he, yeah, he was standing next to DJ Burns, and Jazz said he is so small. He is just so little. I said he's probably like 6'3". Like it's just that one of them is 6'9", so it looks different.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah,
Right.
he's not a little guy. He just looks little, like next to somebody who's that big.
Right.
Uh, and then she was like, this shows how little she knows about sports. But anyway, she was like talking about DJ. She was like, he's Shaq's height. And I was like, he is not Shaq's height. I mean, he's tall, but he's not Shaq's height.
Yeah.
Shaq's like 7'2". He's not
Yeah.
Shaq. It's like and then it would be another
It'll
disparity.
be another
So
difference. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, so in thinking about the Purdue game and NC State playing Purdue, it should be interesting to see how the big on big how it play out.
It should be.
Yeah, and if because the DJ kid's pretty athletic, so
Yeah. DJ
like
Burns.
yeah, he
Yeah.
uses his body well, so it'll be interesting.
He's Zach Randolph reincarnated.
Yeah, you said that before. You must really believe that.
No, it is.
Yeah, I mean he used his body right. He bully. He's got like a little bully ball
Mm-hmm.
thing going for him. So uh
Yep.
so that should be interesting. So um we didn't do as well on the men's bracket, mainly because of Carolina. Let's blame Carolina. But we did pretty well on the women's bracket. But one of the things that actually transitioning to our next thing, one of the things that kind of came out of with with all this hype, and I ain't gonna call it hype, all this necessary attention
Uh-huh.
on the women's NCAA tournament. Everybody's been talking about it. You know, girls basketball is making a comeback. Um, we got Ice Cube came out the woodwork and jumped out there. I saw a statement. I'm sure you saw the statement
Mhm.
on social media where he made Caitlin Clark, the player from Iowa, offer to come play for the Big Three, which is his, I guess, alternative league of basketball,
Of retired basketball
re-
player.
of retired basketball players. Now this created a lot of discourse on social media because people were weighing in on. Well, one, he offered her 5 million to come
Uh-huh.
play. Uh, Two, this is the first time he's extended an offer such as this to a female athlete.
Mhm.
Um, and people are saying, why her? One, why not choose a current WNBA player uh, and have them play in the Big Three? Or a former WNBA player, have them play in the Big Three. Um, Now he kind of dressed it up as he was doing this because he wanted to offer an alternative to her playing overseas or playing in the WNBA or waiting. You know how the WNBA season lasts, so she ain't got to go overseas and play. That she could play with the Big Three. Uh, I kind of agree with people on social media,
Meaning
wherein I want
meaning what?
meaning why her?
Mhm.
Why now?
Who would you like to be in there instead?
I don't have it's plenty of WNBA players who could, if this is a retired players league, right? Um there's no
They're all not retired. It's people that's not in the league. We say that.
okay, okay. Uh Non-current players.
Right.
So why can't, and if it doesn't interrupt the WNBA season, it doesn't,
Mhm.
they don't play during the WNBA season. Why can't a current why can't Brittany Griner do it?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, like
Brittany Griner, because Brittany Griner is not a scorer.
okay. So you are taking the uh approach of this is a good thing.
But I don't I'm not gonna say it's a good thing, but I don't see the backlash in him offering it to her. I mean, it's not saying that she should take it. I'm not saying she should take it, but I don't see, as a businessman, why not offer it to one of the hottest players in college basketball, one of the most talked about college players in college basketball? She's more popular than a lot of the males in college basketball.
So do you think it's a marketing thing?
Very much so.
You think she could actually play with former NBA stars?
The style of play that the big three plays, yes.
Okay. Because all she'll need to do is really shoot.
It score. Yes. Whatever she can score.
She won't need to guard anybody.
Sure. But they're not they're just scoring. Like they're not about to try to body her up. I mean, they
But
may.
you don't think they would, knowing that
They're stronger than her.
Yes. Yeah.
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 I mean, I'm sure. Yeah. Why not try to take advantage?
Right.
But then you play around that. Then you switch.
But it's only three of you on the court.
Yeah. I mean, it's the risk you run
Okay. I don't think it's a good idea. I
for her to
don't.
play. I'm not saying that she should play. I'm just saying
Okay.
for Ice Cube to
To offer.
offer it is intrigue. It is probably very intriguing for her because
Yeah.
where is she gonna get $5 million from?
Not the WNBA.
You know what the highest payer paid last year? The WNBA made
How much?
$200,000.
That's interesting. That's more like middle class right there. Not even like rich, like middle class.
It was like $247,000.
Well, they were close to being wealthy. Close to being wealthy.
That's
Um,
what the highest player paid in the WNBA made.
that's why they go overseas, though.
Yeah.
Do you think the newfound attention, the necessary attention that the NCAA women's tournament's been getting will translate to uh, more pay equity with
No.
the
This
okay?
this is the NCAA women's tournament always attracts this much attention.
You think so?
When Brittany Griner was playing, they
Yeah,
attract this much attention. When UConn was winning all of those national championships with Maya Moore, it attracted this much attention.
yeah,
What happened to Maya Moore when she went to the WNBA?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
do
good
you
point.
forgot about her?
Well,
You know when Brittany Griner resurfaced?
when she got locked up in Russia,
Yes, yes. When she got locked up in Russia, nobody even knew what team she played for till she got locked up in Russia.
she was playing for a Russian team. I
Uh
don't
huh.
know who she was. I don't know if that's
No, she
factual.
was
I
not.
don't know. I don't. I know she was in Russia though.
They
I
had
don't
a
know.
game. They had a game in Russia,
Oh, they had a game in Russia.
and I think
Okay.
she had like a vape or something in her bag or something.
She had a vape pen. Yeah, she did
Uh
have a
huh.
vape pen. I do know that
Yeah.
part. She had a vape
Yeah.
pen. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So the NCAA always it garners a lot of attention because the stars. I mean, the girls turn into stars. The female basketball players turn into stars.
yeah,
But then they go to look at when Candace Parker was playing.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm just saying.
what do you think is necessary though
For what?
for the WNBA to start paying players?
They got to make more.
Yeah, sponsorships, marketing,
Hmm. Yeah, but
fanship.
it's hard. It's hard for the world of women's sports to be able to compete with men sports. It's okay
What?
in college, but because like college is different because a lot of people can like a college because I went to that college. It
Right.
don't have to necessarily be like I'm a fan of that team. So
Yeah.
like if you are a Ravens fan, you have to really like the Ravens, or you might be from Baltimore, but there's still only a select few, select people out of the country
Yeah.
to like a college. I can go to that school, or you start garnering attention from national media, or whatever. But to like a WNBA team, you have to be invested.
Right.
It's hard. That's gonna be hard to do and compete with uh the NBA. I mean, you're not even trying. They're not even trying to compete because they play their season at a whole different time. But still, to garner that type of attention like that is just gonna be hard.
Yeah.
because not too many. You're not going to get millions of fans. I mean, you could, but I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what they could do to, try to change the stigmatism on women's sports, professional sports.
Well, I've actually done research on this because I'm a doctor. Uh, and
I'm a doctor.
shut up.
I'm
But
Zeus, king of the gods.
stop. But nah, it's a lot of factors that play a role in why women's sports are one. We were just talking about pay equity. Um, and she wouldn't get that amount of money in the WNBA because nobody's getting that amount of money in the WNBA. And if she came in and got that amount of money in the WNBA with current players making $100,000, who've been putting in their blood, sweat, and tears for the last 5 years to the league, it would be another issue. And I think that's a lot of why they're upset about this particular offer because it's like, hey, could have offered that to plenty of players. The big three's been out since like 2017-ish or something. Like, why now? Why? I get she's a face and a name and it's popular. I do think there are other players who could have in the style of the big three played in the big three if we're gonna put her there. So I think that's why people are like giving opposition or pushback to the concept or idea. Um, Not to get deep in the weeds about the patriarchy and why women are held down by men in society or nothing like that, which is why sports are tiered the way they are, because, it's social control, because that would have been too deep. But that's really what it's all about. And women, other athletes are saying, why her? Why her? Why should she garner this type of deal? And I get the question, whether it's a fair question, whether it has validity, I get why others would question it.
Yeah, I mean, that makes total sense. But I just look at things. Well, I always look at things from both sides of the coin. I get why either former athletes, or current WNBA athletes. I get why the question would be why her, but I also can see why Ice Cube would offer this to her.
I think he's trying to grow his brand and his market. And
You think?
I know it
Okay.
is a,
Because
it's a,
think about it like this. Even if she came in, she would probably be the biggest name that he has.
at the moment.
Right.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Why do you think he asked a woman athlete, not a college male
Because he
athlete?
can't compete with the NBA.
Hmm.
He can compete with the WNBA.
Yeah,
He can't
yeah, that's
compete with the NBA. He can't compete with $100 million contract.
so no need try. Just offer
Don't
it
even
to.
try.
I mean, he shouldn't try. He should try because he
Oh, okay.
can't. This is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like he shouldn't try, which I
Right.
know that's why he's not trying.
Right.
He feels like she'll see the money and say, well, yeah, I'll do it. And from that, he gets publicity, he gets marketing. And then whether she succeeds or not, or plays for just one season or whatever, then he makes his money back that
He
way.
he's already marketing regardless whether this
This is
offer was
like, yeah,
whether the offer was real or not. he's
Right.
he's getting his company name in the already out there.
Yeah.
He's getting his, people probably forgot about the big three because I wasn't thinking
I
about.
did.
Yeah,
I forgot about the big three.
exactly.
I forgot. I said, Ice
And
Cube got a company?
yeah, and guess
Oh, he was a gangster rapper.
and ain't this around the time that the big three about to start?
Yeah, it is.
Come on now.
Yeah,
Come on now.
yeah,
I forgot all about. I wasn't even thinking about no big three
yeah. I don't never really watch the big three games.
at
So
all.
yeah.
Nope.
I'm surprised he got $5 million to get to somebody. So
Well, he got money now.
I mean, like the league, not him, but like literally his league. I
That
was
might come out of
surprised.
his check.
You think he's like, you know what? I'm gonna write her check personally. Don't worry about how we gonna recoup the funds. I got this.
He got 5 million. I know that.
Do you think people would tune in to the big three just to watch Caitlin Clark get
I
body
think they
checked?
would. Oh, they would. They would.
Then I guess in that case, then it's worth the offer. Then I
Yeah.
guess Ice Cube might be a genius then if that in that case.
He ain't slow.
No,
He's
but
a good businessman.
clearly because
Yeah.
nobody knew about the offer, but he threw it out there that he made the offer and was like, before it gets out, I wanted to be the first one to let everybody know. Like, what? Nobody checking for what you offered that girl. We wouldn't even know. How would we have known?
Right. It's all publicity.
It's all publicity. That's the
Yeah.
world we live in.
Yeah.
God, dog. Who would have thought? Ice Cube. Today was a good day. Now look at us. He handing out $5 million checks. He probably don't even watch women's basketball. He probably Googled her name or it popped up on a feed or something. And he was like, oh, okay, this might be, everybody talking about her.
He probably watches women's basketball. I'm sure he does.
I bet you he don't never talk about it any other time. Like
You know that man. You been on the phone with him.
We went to high school together. Me and Ice Cube went to
Okay,
high school.
you grew up in Compton now.
I did. I grew up in
All right.
Phoenix, Compton, wherever else I need to grow up.
I
I'm
got
just
you.
saying, he like some players, some like professional like actors or whatever, like they be like tweeting or whatever. They talk about like women's sports if they are actually active into watching women's sports. And this is the first time I've heard of him saying anything. He hasn't popped up at any games or anything. So I feel like
Right.
if you're a fan, you might pop up at least one game. I mean, he is a millionaire. He could go to an Iowa game if he wanted to.
Oh well, I don't know. I don't be looking to see where Ice Cube ventures in his free time. So I don't know
I
how
like to
many.
know where everybody's at all times. So
Yeah, I
I'm
ain't
just
that
saying,
invested.
I ain't never seen him like really. That was another thing people talked about. He never really talked about like the WNBA and an alternative to the WNBA before. Why now?
Right.
I mean, it's good to be a proponent to get women to actually get paid what they should be getting paid. Well, not getting paid what they should be getting paid, but to get paid a little more. But
Right.
be a proponent for that, not say, "Hey, just join my league." The WNBA ain't gonna pay you.
So what would have made his offer like? What would have made it more suitable for the culture?
He should have asked multiple. He should create a women's big three and pay them the same way he paid the players, the men. If
If
he's
he,
really concerned, if what he's really trying to do, this is the thing. I don't like fake advocacy. Don't pretend like you care about an issue or care about a problem when you indeed want to be a part of the issue or the problem.
so you think?
If he truly cared, he could create an alternative just like he did with the NBA. He created a league for players that do not play in the actual NBA anymore, but
Mm-hmm.
for them to still live out their heyday, like we talked about previously.
Mm-hmm.
He could do that for women. There are plenty of women athletes that could still participate and play.
So you think that when he offered her this money that he was trying to shun on women's sports by offering her $5 million?
He said, I'm offering her this as a potential alternative. These are his words. They're not mine. I didn't create this term. He said an
uh,
alternative to the WNBA, right?
mm-hmm.
But he's going to put her in a situation where she couldn't truly thrive because she would be playing against men that are probably a little taller, a little bigger, a little stronger than her. She does have an asset that could be translated, but why not say, I'm going to make the big three co ed? And I won't, he didn't even have to create a all female team. Why not make the big three co ed? And not just her, but I want women athletes to say, this is an alternative for you too. Like in true, that's what I'm saying, fake advocacy. Like, what are you really trying to do? We know he's trying to grow his brand, do
Right.
his marketing thing, but it's the way you go about it. Like, people would really buy into it had he said, I'm going to make the big three co ed. You can still
Right.
have all these former big name NBA stars participating, but get
Mm-hmm.
some of the old school women hoopers to participate too.
If he was gonna offer Caitlin Clark any money, he should
Yes,
have offered it to a vast amount of women, not just one
yes,
woman.
not just one woman. That's what I
Mm.
feel. When he created the league, did he just say one man can come play?
Hmm. That's not even realistic though. Like he gonna play by himself.
All I'm saying is, why
Since the
couldn't
big
it
three,
be?
not big one.
But that's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
Why couldn't it be a co-ed league if his intentions were really to offer alternative? These are his words, alternative
He said
to
for
the
her though,
WNBA.
not for a vast amount of women.
So that makes me think she should not participate in anything related
But
to the
hey, and you know what?
if she
Like I
is
said,
smart.
yeah, and like I said, that makes sense. Like I don't think she should play at all. But on the flip side, hey man, this man is trying to get his business out there, and he's trying to get it back in the spotlight. Cause like we just said, we ain't weren't thinking about no big three.
Make the big clear. That's all I'm saying. Like it, and then he really might be on to something. If you can pay people $5 million to play, and they
One
not gonna
person.
make that. All I'm saying, that's my
Cause
point. That's
you
a
think
big number, dude. That's a big number.
you think Katino Mobley making $5 million.
No,
Exactly. You think Al
no,
Harrington making $5 million?
no. I want to look at. I'm gonna figure out their salaries because
Uh,
I
yeah,
gotta know what they making in the big three.
it
What
ain't
you think
five
they making?
million.
What you think they making?
Nah, I don't know. They was on CBS last year, so they probably got a good little
So
TV deal.
so
Let's
they get
say,
in
let's say about or maybe
50
50,000.
thousand.
Yeah,
But why he gonna offer her 5 million? Then
because she gonna be the face of the league.
she gonna be the face of the big three now.
Hmm.
I'm trying to find the salaries for the big three. See how much they was getting paid. They get prize money for winning the tournament.
Yeah, they don't have a salary.
Joe Johnson was getting 51,000.
That ain't bad.
No,
That ain't bad.
yeah, well, it's not 5 million.
No.
He just threw a number out there. really don't believe he was gonna pay her no $5 million. He
And
had
I
this
don't
is
even think there was a
propaganda,
contract. I don't even think there was a contract even out there to be had. I think it was
right?
just all publicity. Then, if you really offer her this, why you offering her this in the middle of her and her NCAA run to the national championship?
It's propaganda.
It ain't real.
Yeah, he out here just
It
selling
ain't real.
dreams.
I mean, I'm sure he had his people reach her people, so it could be some type of validity to it. Because she even said that, her and her people talked about it, but they're gonna leave it, private for whatever they discussed or whatever. But I'm sure it wasn't too much conversation about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's my thoughts on it. I don't, the fake advocacy. Don't pretend like you care, like you trying to help women's sports out by offering her something. Just her something to help women's sports. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's fake.
Yeah. I can dig it.
Get you-
This has been another episode of Professional Couch Coaches. Make sure to hit that like, make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe. And as always,